Hello, everyone. Welcome to the League of Leaders Hot Topic Tuesday. I'm Zach Sooty. We have Al Fragnoli and Brandon Gunn. Gentlemen, great to see you again. Have some topics we want to get into, and I want to start off with the exciting game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. It was a great game, through the end. Al, what are your thoughts? And do you think the Ravens have a legit chance at beating the Chiefs in the playoffs?
Yeah, I absolutely think the Ravens have a great chance to knock him off. This shows Patrick Mahomes, his time is done. He's washed up. Andy Reid, overrated. No, listen, the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC. This is, I believe it's Patrick Mahomes' first loss in September as a starter. So they usually start the season off pretty hot around him. I was kind of surprised in the comeback there. They had seemed like a pretty comfortable lead there in the fourth quarter, and Lamar Jackson played out of his mind. What a performance he had. You know what I love most as that game was tight there. I think if they punt the ball back with under a minute to go, something tells me Patrick Mahomes comes down the field, puts him in position to kick a game-winning field goal. I love the fact that you could see Harbaugh during that last timeout mouth to Lamar from the sideline, hey, do you want to go for it? And of course, his player is going to say yes. I love the courage that they had there. Kudos to the Ravens for playing one heck of a game. And you know what was really, really awesome, I thought, guys, was seeing the excitement and the noise in that stadium, the energy level that was there. Obviously, we didn't have it last year. So, it's going to be interesting. I know we're only in week 2. We still got tons of football left. But if the Ravens lose this game and start the season 0-2 and the Chiefs go 2-0, it puts the Ravens in a really hard position to kind of battle back and really fight for a good, strong seeding in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. This kind of opens up the door, I think, really early on in a battle for first place and home field throughout. So exciting game. And Zach, just to answer your question, yeah, I think that the Ravens are a legitimate chance, have a legitimate chance to knock off the Chiefs in the postseason. I do still think the Chiefs have got to be the favorites, but the Ravens have the team that can get it done. Brandon?
So I'll disagree with you, Al. I don't think that the Ravens are going to stand a chance next to the Chiefs. They've already lost their top, 3 running backs to season-ending injuries. They can't sustain any more injuries in the backfield. And, I mean, let's call it what it is. Lamar is the running back 1 there in Baltimore. But if the Chiefs just get into a situation to where they can just plug just stack that box and force Lamar to throw, I think we've seen enough recently. I mean, in the loss to the loss to Las Vegas that Baltimore had, that if you force Lamar to throw, he's going to have errors in his game. There's a hole in his game. He just can't compete with Patrick Mahomes on a head-to-head, throwing the ball down the field contest. So I think that the Kansas City Chiefs need to clean up their defense a little bit. I think they need to get the Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit more involved in the running game. I think that they need to diversify their offense. But at the end of the day, I think that they're still the cream of the crop in that division. And I think that if they just clean up those things, then, they walk away from that game okay. I just think that Baltimore's already sustained so many injuries early. And the NFL is a battle of attrition throughout this season, and they've already lost a lot of parts. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes goes out, and then we're having a completely different conversation. So like you said, we're in week 2. So early projections, I'm just going, if the roster stayed the same from this point out, then I think that the Chiefs are the clear bell of the ball in that division. What do you think, Zach?
Brandon, first of all, wait, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen. The Ravens last night proved to the world that they can compete with Patrick Mahomes. And to your point about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they gave him the rock. They said, you do your thing, and he fumbled. We'll see what happens. The Ravens have a chance. Zach, you chime in now. You think the Ravens have a chance. I know it.
No, I don't.
Well, you're wearing a Broncos sweatshirt tonight, so you can't know much about football. But Zach, share your thoughts.
No, they don't have a chance. I think the Chiefs lost that game more than the Ravens won it. Mahomes made an error he won't make again. Throwing an interception, the fumble. I think I was expecting Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to make those mistakes. They didn't. I think the Chiefs the Chiefs lost the game more than the Ravens won. I don't think the Ravens have another. I don't think they can beat them twice in the same season. So I'm going to say the Chiefs. They get things right. They find a way to stop Lamar Jackson if they play him in the playoffs, and they'll beat them easily, is in my opinion. So there you go, Al.
That's the correct answer, Zach.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, Zach, please.
All right, let's talk Dodgers and Giants, the NL West race, and baseball in general. We got the Dodgers. What is it? 10 straight division crowns, possibly. Pretty remarkable. What do you think of the NL West race? And Padres, where are they at, Al?
Yeah, this is going to be a great race right down to the wire. We got the last 2 weeks of the baseball season. I always love it. Mid-September, you got football that's starting up, college and the NFL, and then you got the postseason for Major League Baseball that's quickly approaching. So, I love it. Those two teams are battling it out. Dodgers currently a game behind San Francisco. They both have incredible records. They both will finish with over 100 wins. It's absolutely nuts because one of them is going to be the top seed in the wild card, and that second wild card team is going to probably finish 20 games behind them. The scary thing is if one of those teams actually lost that wild card game, to me, that would be an absolute shame because you have an incredible season and you just don't perform well in one game. I agree. I like the excitement that Major League Baseball has created by adding another wild card team to the mix. But, I would love to see it go to a 3-game series or something down the road because this, to me, kind of hurts that team that has had a fantastic year but just didn't have enough to win the division. So anyway, back to your question, Zach. It's gonna be a great race. I think it goes down to the last really couple days, maybe even the last day of the season, regular season. I'm going to lean with the Dodgers to find a way to overcome that 1-game deficit right now and to win their 10th straight. I believe it would be their 10th straight division crown for the National League West title. I would love to see the Giants be able to hold on and do it. And they've had an incredible run, but I'm just going to put the experienced Los Angeles Dodgers as the team to win that division. Brandon, I'm sure you're going to disagree with me. So why don't you go on with your thoughts?
I am going to disagree with you, but here's the reason why. So they've already got the head start and they play a very similar schedule from here on out. So all they have to do is just continue doing what they've been doing all season long, and they'll finish 1 game ahead. They each have 3 games against the Rockies and 3 games against the Diamondbacks left in the season. That's 6 of the 12 games left for each team. So assuming that they each win those series and take care of business there, then you're going into just a couple of extra series. And I think that 1-game lead is just going to hold. I think that they are both great teams. And Al, to your point on the playoff and the wild card play-in game, I'm with you. I think that they need to expand that to a 3-game series just to try to get the best teams to advance. And it's really hard in a 1-game playoff scenario to really prove you're the best team, especially, when we're pitching 3-4 guys in the playoffs and things like that. So I'll agree with you there. I'll disagree with you and say that the Giants are going to hold on just because they've got that 1-game advantage in only 12 games left. But it's going to be an exciting race. It's going to come down to the wire, and it'll be great to see how it plays out. What are your thoughts there, Zach?
I think the Dodgers come out on top. I think they take the division, and I do think that I agree with you on the 1 game. It should be a 3-game series. It's fun, that wild card game, but it could be a tragedy if one of those two teams lost in that playoff game. So I agree with you there. And the Padres, I think we were talking about them and the Dodgers being in this race towards the end of the season. I didn't think the Giants would be there, so I think that's pretty cool. So, but I think the Dodgers take the division for their 10th straight, and San Francisco will win the wild card game. So, sticking with MLB a little bit, during the LA Dodgers Cincinnati Reds series, a rookie for the Cincinnati Reds hits a home run. Mookie Betts gets the baseball from the fan, so the rookie ball player gets his memorabilia, his first home run. And in turn, Mookie Betts, the next half of the inning when he comes out to the field, brings a bat for the fan as an exchange. I don't think the fan knew that. I think it was in good nature. Hey, here's the ball. Mookie asked for it. He gave it to him. Mookie then gave him the bat as a gesture. So, Al, want to start with you. What are your thoughts on the goodwill gesture by Mookie Betts, and the fact that memorabilia nowadays, you in Detroit with Mickey's 500th home run, there's some money around these things, and that doesn't happen all the time. Someone just giving the ball back. So, what are your thoughts on what happened in LA?
Yeah, Zach, that's a good topic that you bring up, and what a gesture and a story that was, like, all around, right? I mean, you got Mookie Betts, who sees an opponent that hit their first career home run, and he's doing something kind for an opposing team's player, and then you see the fan graciously give it back too. So all around a good story. You love seeing stuff like that. And then Mookie Betts going back and giving that fan something as a little thank you. That is nice to see. You mentioned Miguel Cabrera and what we see happening with memorabilia. People, his 500th home run ball landed in the bullpen out in Toronto, didn't get into any seats. And it would have been interesting to see if it wasn't a stadium, fans fighting over it or whatnot, because a lot of people look at that as big money opportunities, right? I mean, look how much rookie cards are going for these days for, future Hall of Fame players and whatnot. So all this memorabilia that's out there, people are certainly fighting over to try and make an extra buck. So, that story that you mentioned right there, Zach, is a really nice, good, feel-good story. And it was a nice story to read. So, Brandon, your thoughts on that story and memorabilia in general?
Yeah. I'd agree with you there, Al. I think that it's a great feel-good story. And Zach, I think that, you covered it great. I think that for this kid to just do what he thought was the right thing and then still be rewarded with it, he gets a great lesson out of it. And not only that, but he gets it back from Mookie Betts, who, one of the top 3-4 guys in the league, in my opinion, in terms of popularity. So, I think it worked out well for everybody. And this is a best case scenario. I would much rather read about a story like this than, a ball gets smashed into the stands. And like you said, there's people fighting over it. And then somebody just, profits huge off of it. I get that, these things are worth money. But it's stories like these that just it makes the game feel really wholesome, and it just I think that this is the best possible scenario when something like this happens. So props to Mookie Betts. Great job by that kid to throw the ball back, and good for the rookie who hit his first home run to get that back. I think that it's a win-win-win all the way around, and hopefully we get to hear more stories like this, because you hear more of the other things where you get that one guy who, gets a seat in the stands and he's caught 47 foul balls and he won't toss it to the kid. And, so he's just going home with his bag full of baseballs. And meanwhile, there's kids crying. So I think it was a great story. Hopefully we hear more like it. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, a wonderful story. And I think it just goes to show the character of Mookie Betts. He continues to impress on and off the field, and I think that's great for baseball. And I want to see more of that in baseball. I want to see more of those feel-good stories. And, we know there's people out there to capitalize on some of those moments, whether it's a 500th home run or something like that. And they can do that. They're certainly allowed. But for Mookie Betts to reward a fan in that way, over what is seemingly a meaningless home run to most people, except for one rookie player, I think that's awesome to just putting the game first, putting another player first. And I think that's kind of cool. And I hope for Major League Baseball that continues, and maybe that sets an example for some future, things to happen that players take advantage of that and do something nice for another individual. But that's just a veteran player making a Hall of Fame move in my book. So those are my thoughts on Mookie Betts. He continues to impress, and I'm becoming a fan.
Yeah, this was, we've definitely have some good topics today, gentlemen. So, Brandon, I'm shocked we finally agreed on something and took us up to the third topic, but we did. And I just want to let you know it's 46 foul balls that I've caught, not 47, and I've never made a kid cry. So anyway, we want to thank everybody for joining us on Hot Topic Tuesday. As always, we hope you continue to tune in and enjoy our discussion on the hottest sports topics of the week. We hope you continue to tune in on Sundays to listen to a leadership discussion with a special guest that we continue to bring on every week. Thanks again, everybody.